Allison Schrager, an economist, walks into a brothel and other unexpected places to understand risk. Are you ready to dive into the world of risk and discover how to make better, calculated decisions? In An Economist Walks into a Brothel, Allison Schrager explores the complexities of risk and the importance of setting clear goals when taking a chance. Learn how past results may not be reliable indicators for future risk and how human perception of risk can lack rationality. This summary will guide you through concepts such as diversification, hedging, insurance, and protecting yourself from uncertainty to help you better manage your own risks in all aspects of life.
Smart risk-taking for defined goals. Before taking any risk, define your ultimate goal and explore every possible risk-free way to achieve it. Sometimes the risk-free option may not be possible, as it might not align with your desires or come at a higher price. Nevertheless, considering the price of achieving your goal without risk can help you discern which risks are worth taking to accomplish your ambitions. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a cliff, pondering whether to make a daring leap. What's driving you to take the plunge? A clearly defined goal is crucial before embracing any risk. Be specific about what you're trying to achieve. If you desire a more lucrative career, pin down the exact amount you hope to earn and the reason behind it. Once your goal is crystal clear, brainstorm every imaginable way to achieve it without taking any chances. After all, why court risk unnecessarily? However, the road to your goals may not always be paved with risk-free options or offer you what you truly want. For instance, suppose you're searching for a home that meets particular criteria in size, location, and price range, but the only way to secure the perfect house is to bid beyond your budget. The risk-free option, outbidding competition by any means, might be unfeasible. In such cases, you might have to settle for something smaller. Now picture a more extreme scenario, involving legal brothels in Nevada. Sex workers face many risks such as personal safety, health, social reputation, and potential arrest. However, they choose this line of work for the substantial financial rewards. Although renting a room in a legal brothel can reduce risks, since workers get regular health screenings and are protected by security guards, this option comes at a cost, relocating to Nevada and sharing a significant portion of their earnings with the brothel owner. These examples underline a common theme: the price of achieving a goal without risk might just be too steep. But determining which risks are worth taking isn't a straightforward decision. The key is to examine the balance between the price you're willing to pay and the ultimate outcome you want to achieve in order to make informed, strategic choices on the path towards your ambitions. Unpredictability in predicting risk. Deciding when to leave for work each day might seem like a simple decision, but factors such as weather or traffic can cause unexpected delays. Similarly, in business and economics, calculating future risk based on past results is a poor method. Take Hollywood for example. Studios race to replicate the success of a hit movie, but not every film becomes a blockbuster due to various factors. Accurately predicting risk relies on constantly updated and accurate data, which is often difficult to obtain in real-life situations. It's crucial not to rely solely on past decisions when assessing risk. Picture this: you have a daily 30-minute commute to work and need to be there by 8 a.m. You leave at 7:30 a.m. every day, expecting to arrive on time. But life happens, bad weather, accidents, or unforeseen events may occur, causing delays. Relying solely on the average 30-minute commute time isn't enough, you'll eventually end up late. Underlying this daily dilemma is the misconception that past results determine future risks. Risk analysis should account for an array of possible outcomes, not just a singular expectation. While you might anticipate a smooth commute, external factors like weather and traffic conditions can alter reality significantly. If being on time is crucial, you'll adjust your departure time accordingly. We may appreciate this concept in everyday decisions, but its application extends to complex fields like business and economics. Let's explore the world of Hollywood. Filmmaking involves hefty risks and multi-million-dollar investments. When a movie succeeds, studios scramble to create a similar hit, believing that past success can be replicated. However, past results don't guarantee future outcomes. Examining a movie studio's financial results unveils a skewed distribution pattern. A few films generate massive revenue, while most barely break even, or even lose money. This inconsistency makes for tricky predictions on which movies will succeed or fail. A crucial component in risk measurement is data. Accurate and perpetually updated data is necessary for precise risk prediction. But in reality, data becomes outdated rapidly. Factors like box office revenue, election results, and economic growth carry a notorious reputation for being tough to predict, as information needed for accurate analysis can change in an instant. Consequently, when facing the uncertainty of daily commutes, movie hits, or bigger ventures, never solely rely on past decisions. Recognize that risk measurement involves a multitude of factors and a constant influx of fresh data to achieve the most accurate predictions possible. Decoding risk perception. Millions of people play the lottery, despite the astronomical odds against winning. This behavior demonstrates that our perception of risk is not always rational, as we often prioritize emotional factors over true probabilities. By recognizing this disparity between feelings and facts, we can make more informed and reasonable decisions about risk in our lives. Why do millions of people participate in the lottery when they are well aware of the slim chances of winning? This phenomenon can be explained by understanding that the ways we perceive risk are often irrational and driven more by emotions than by facts. Contrary to the assumption that everyone is risk-averse, we sometimes allow emotional values, known as utility, to outweigh the actual value of a particular outcome. For example, in a high-stakes poker tournament with a grand prize of $10 million, players might choose to split the prize and take a guaranteed payout rather than risk it all in the game. However, a player who is already a multimillionaire may not care as much about the prize itself and opt to continue playing for the experience. This demonstrates that individual perceptions of utility can influence our decision-making, regardless of the actual value of what's at stake. Emphasizing the emotional aspect of an outcome can lead us to overestimate certainty and fail to recognize the true risks associated with a situation. The lottery, for instance, is often promoted with slogans like, "You can't win if you don't play." While technically true, such statements heavily downplay the significant risks associated with participating in the game. The appeal of the potential jackpot blinds us to the fact that the chances of winning are exceedingly slim. To accurately evaluate risk, we must acknowledge the biases that can distort our perspective and examine the information we're presented with critically. Take the example of a medication with reported cases of doubling the odds of developing anemia. At first glance, such news might discourage people from using the medication. However, scrutinizing study findings may reveal that the actual increase in risk is from 1 in 8,000 to 2 in 8,000, a relatively insignificant jump. Becoming aware of this discrepancy between our emotional perception of risk and the actual probabilities at play can help us make more informed decisions. By carefully considering the potential advantages and disadvantages of any situation and examining them from an objective standpoint, we can better assess and manage risk in our lives. Mastering diversification, reduce risk. Risk management is vital in various aspects of life, and understanding the two major categories of risk, idiosyncratic and systematic, is a great place to start. Idiosyncratic risk is unique to a specific field or asset, while systematic risk impacts the entire structure. The key to handling idiosyncratic risk is embracing diversification to reduce unnecessary risk. Examples of diversification can be found in finance, as well as fields like Hollywood film production and horse breeding. Despite its effectiveness, diversification has its limitations, including the fact that it cannot completely eliminate risk and may reduce the possibility of massive gains. One effective approach to minimize idiosyncratic risk is through diversification, which is essentially the practice of not putting all your eggs in one basket. In finance, for instance, diversifying your stock portfolio can help eliminate the unique risks linked to certain investments. However, diversification extends far beyond the stock market. It plays a role in various industries. In Hollywood, movie studios employ diversification by producing multiple films simultaneously, rather than taking it one at a time. This method ensures that profitable movies help cover the cost of those that underperform. Further, studios diversify their income sources by adopting different means of distribution, such as theatrical releases, home video formats, and licensing to streaming platforms or television networks. The world of horse breeding also showcases an interesting take on diversification. Top racehorses, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in stud fees, are bred with numerous mares to maximize the chances of producing successful offspring. This approach is particularly crucial as it typically takes several years to determine if the offspring possess the same desirable traits as their parents. Modern advances in science and technology further bolster the effectiveness and efficiency of diversification. Financial analysts now have the ability to create well-diversified portfolios that significantly minimize potential risk, while veterinary science can determine the best pairings for breeding horses. Moreover, data collection enhances the distribution process for films through digital downloads and streaming services. Regardless of its benefits, diversification presents certain drawbacks. By minimizing idiosyncratic risk, the likelihood of a large windfall, such as a substantial return from investing in the next big company, also diminishes. Furthermore, even a highly diversified portfolio remains susceptible to the unavoidable systematic risk, like that of a stock market crash. Hedging and insurance, risk reducers. Reducing risk is essential for smart decision-making, and two key methods of achieving this are hedging and insurance. In both personal and professional contexts, hedging removes extreme outcomes by sacrificing potential gains to reduce the possibility of loss. Businesses, such as airlines, employ this strategy to stay stable amidst unpredictable markets. Insurance, on the other hand, involves paying someone to absorb potential risks while retaining potential rewards. This method varies in cost based on the level of risk involved, but can encourage unnecessary risk-taking by fostering a false sense of security. Ultimately, both approaches have their merits and can be valuable tools for managing risk. Risk management revolves around the core question: how can one minimize the downside while maintaining the potential for an upside? The answer lies in two primary solutions: hedging and insurance. Hedging refers to the act of keeping options open by sacrificing some potential gains to reduce the chances of loss. In personal finance, for instance, investing in bonds alongside stocks is a form of hedging against the volatile nature of the stock market. Bonds may yield lower returns, but they also ensure minimal money loss. Businesses also employ hedging strategies routinely. Consider how airline companies address the risk associated with fluctuating oil prices. They negotiate fixed-rate fuel contracts, effectively securing a predictable cost regardless of market shifts. While they may pay more in instances of oil price drops, this method serves as a protective measure against rising prices and disrupted revenues. Insurance complements hedging by offering another method for risk reduction. This approach involves paying a party to absorb potential risks, leaving the payer with possible rewards. With insurance, peace of mind is accessible across a wide range of assets and situations, from car accidents to declining stock prices. The cost of insurance generally corresponds with the level of risk, with higher risk situations warranting steeper fees. However, insurance breeds concerns around promoting careless behavior. The safety net provided by insurance can foster a false sense of security, potentially resulting in unwarranted risk-taking. For instance, in the world of surfing, jet ski rescue vehicles have led unqualified surfers to chase bigger thrills, assuming safety thanks to readily available rescues. In contrast, qualified surfers benefit from this level of insurance, as it permits testing boundaries and embracing growth opportunities. Both hedging and insurance serve as essential tools for managing risk, each possessing unique qualities that cater to various situations. By implementing these strategies effectively, individuals and businesses alike can face uncertainties and challenges with confidence. Embrace flexibility, conquer uncertainty. Effective risk management entails setting a clear goal and preparing for all imaginable outcomes. However, we often cannot predict what will happen in complex situations. It is essential to guard against uncertainty and maintain flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Embracing new ideas, relinquishing over-reliance on technology, and cultivating an open, humble mindset will help when navigating uncertain situations and enable better decision-making. Calculating risk involves not just addressing potential outcomes we can predict, but also those we cannot foresee. In situations replete with unpredictability, it is vital to protect oneself against both risks and uncertainties. Traditional risk models may falter when applied to unforeseen outcomes, making it crucial to be adaptable in high-stakes, uncertain scenarios. One clear instance of this is in the military, where even meticulously strategized plans can falter amidst chaos. The ability to stay present and maintain flexibility when deciding whether to change tactics or persist can be life-saving. To ensure maximum adaptability, consider the following tips: be receptive to new ideas, even those from subordinates, embracing a combination of expertise and humility, allow yourself the latitude to change course when needed, exercising the courage to amend your decisions, and be cautious not to become overdependent on technology. Modern tools can be highly convenient but may also expose us to cyber threats. A proactive approach to cybersecurity and vigilance against complacency will keep technology working for us. Risk management is hardly exact, with humans and situations proving to be unpredictable. Regardless of our efforts in planning, it is impossible to account for every possible scenario. However, through education, preparation, and cultivating flexibility, we can confidently conquer uncertainty and make more informed decisions.
In the dynamic world of risk management, An Economist Walks into a Brothel offers valuable insights and strategies for making better decisions in the face of uncertainty. Allison Schrager emphasizes the need to set clear goals, be open to new ideas, and stay flexible in our decision-making process. By understanding the difference between risk types and applying concepts like diversification, hedging, and insurance, we can minimize our potential losses and maximize our gains. Don't let the complexities of risk hold you back. Embrace it, learn from it, and face your challenges with confidence and clarity.